You'll have to wait till after I make my brief presentation here. I want to thank everybody for coming here. First of all, I want to introduce a few people, and I don't want to mess up. This is my first time introducing people that have come to one of my events, and if I do miss somebody, please just yell your name and acknowledge, and I will correct that. First, I want to thank my brother Tim. He's the Plymouth County DA. A member of the Western Restaraunt Board of Health. Excuse me, Board of Selectmen.
Board of Health.
Chairman of the Plymouth County GOP. Chairman of the Brockton City Republican Committee. Jim Aldred, State Committee man, somewhere.
There you go.
Jeannie Franconi from, she's also Brockton, but she's also a state committee.
There she is. Yeah. Oh, that's Jim right there.
So Karen Barry, she is she's working for Mary Connaught, and I just see the Mary.
Oh, Mary Jane.
And I want to thank also, we have a couple of candidates here. Richard Livingstone, he's running for Senate. I don't know the actual district. Abrams, she's from Easton, she's also running for state. 11th Plymouth. Patty Rock, Chairman of the Eastern Republican Town Committee. And again, if I miss somebody, I apologize. This is kind of new to me. In case you didn't know, I am John Cruz. I am the candidate. I'm just an average guy. You know, I'm a taxpayer. I'm a plumber. I'm a small business owner. I create jobs. As a matter of fact, I'm the only candidate in the race that has a small business. I've had a small business for over 19 years now. So I kind of know what it's like in order to create jobs, to create growth. One of the reasons that I'm running is to create jobs. You know, the economy out there right now is one thing, but the burdens that the government's putting on us is another. I mean, we have to somehow lessen the burden that the government puts on us. How do we do that? Easy. Let's lower our corporate tax rate, for one. Corporations are being taxed into another zone. Why do they do that? Because they feel that we, as small businesses, can pass the expense on to the consumers. You guys, you know, how much more can be passed on? I mean, we see the problem with state government. State government has a problem. They like to spend our money too easily, too frequently. But when they run out of money, what do? They come back and they tax us more. You know, for example, they increased our sales tax last year. They wanted to tax everything else. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do this year when they debate the budget. What is the House going to do? They're already talking about $1 billion deficit. Where's that money going to come from? Taxpayers. Yeah. And again, we'll see it in the direct result of cut local aid. And that's the direct services that we see. And that's where we see the additional firemen, the cops, you know, the school teachers, you know, they'll trash pickup, sewer workers, you name it, that's where they'll cut it, because that's where you'll feel it the most. They won't cut the bloated bureaucracy that currently exists. You know, when times are good, up there in Beacon Hill, they always find a program that they can fund. You know, when money was coming in the past 6 or 7 years, when money was coming in fast and they could spend 5, 6, 7% increases weren't unheard of. Now what happens? The economy tanks. But unfortunately, that budget that they've been promoting for the past 7 years is still bloated. It's still spending at the same amount of money that they had 5 years ago. One of the ideas that I have when I get elected, and I plan on getting elected in November 2nd, because of a lot of hard work. People like you guys in the room tonight. But one of my ideas is, let's put a cap on the spending. How about something like that, you know? Let's cap it to maybe like a fixed number, the consumer price index, or some other number that's out there. So when money does come in, we don't spend it beyond that fixed number. If something happens where we do have to increase spending, yeah, we can override it. We can increase spending. But let's at least put a mandatory cap on spending. We all know that this economy that we have, that we're experiencing right now, the downturn in the economy, it's pretty bad out there. But it will get better. And when it does get better, the money will be rolling into the state again, and they'll be at the same predicament they are 10 years from now when we have another glitch in the economy. My saying is, let's cap the spending. Another thing I want to do, and Senator Murray actually, I think she copied my approach, is the Sunset Commission. What I want to do is all these commissions that they've started in the past 5 years, when this budget this budget that they've been promoting has increased dramatically, let's have these commissions come in front of us. The commission will exist of state House members, legislators, state senators and state representatives. Let these commissions come in front of us and explain their existence. Why are they needed? Is there some duplicity? Is there some overlapping coverage that currently exists? In my opinion, there is. For those of you that don't know, I am a former state representative. I was elected 20 years ago to somewhat similar conditions that we're currently experiencing. Unemployment was high, our bond rating was low, and we just got rid of a governor. I'm sure you've heard of him, Governor Dukakis, and what he did to Massachusetts. Back then, he ran for president in '88, and his slogan was, he wanted to do to the country what he did to Massachusetts. Well, I'll tell you, thank God he didn't get elected president. And thank God he never had the opportunity to do to the country that he did to Massachusetts. You know, 2 years later, back in 1990, when I ran, you know, our bond rating was down low. We were close to junk bond status. Nobody wanted to buy our debt. But what did we do? We came in, we elected new leadership. We elected Governor Weld, Lieutenant Governor Salucci, 30 some odd new members in both branches of the House and the Senate, and we made changes. We cut the budget. You know, I can remember my first month in office, the transition team, the Dukakis people said, okay, there's a $100 million $100 million deficit. Well, $100 million, back then, it seemed like a lot of money. And we're like, okay, well, how are we going to deal with it? Then the real numbers came up. And this is what the Democrats do. They hide the real information from us. They hide the real facts. It wasn't $100 million. It was $700 million in the hole. And we still had 6 months of the fiscal year to go. So what did we do? You know what we did? We did what everybody in this room does. When we manage our own household budgets. We look back at our expenses and we cut what we have to. We survived. We did unpaid furloughs. Yeah, they weren't pleasant at the time. Unpaid furloughs. We cut certain programs that hurt some people. But look, we had to do what we had to do. And that's what they're looking at now. They're looking at $1 billion deficit right now. How are they going to cure that? The rainy day fund is almost empty. 3 years ago, you know how much was in there? A couple of billion. This guy gets in there, he's spending it left and right, increasing taxes. They have no, excuse me, they have no sense of reality when they're up there on Beacon Hill. It's other people's money. That's the problem. I'll tell you, when I get in there, I'll look at it like it's my money, like it's my pocketbook, and I'll spend that money accordingly. That's why I'm asking. When I get in there in January, I'm going to create these commissions. The first piece of legislation that I file will be to cap the state spending from one fiscal year to the next, and I will look at the budgets that have been increased over the past 5 years. That's my promise to you. And I'll tell you, I will be accessible. The representative that's in there now, who knows where she is or how she can get in touch, how you get in touch with her. That's not my issue. My issue is me. I'm very easy to get in touch with. As Holly alluded to, the committees and things that I belong to, the town of West Bridgewater, you know, I've been on the fire department for 30 years. 30 years I've been on. As a matter of fact, a couple of hours ago, I was at my fire station trying to get more people to come to this event tonight, and there was a massive storm that blew through Brockton. Brockton had 3 houses that were struck by lightning all at the same time. Wow. We sent our engine to Campello Station, Stoughton sent an engine, Whitman sent a station, East Bridgewater, all over this. But I mean, that's what towns do. They help people out in need. And that's what I'm here for. I'm there for you guys. Even though a lot of you people don't live in the 10th Plymouth District, which is, by the way, Easton Precinct 3, all the town of West Bridgewater, Brockton Precinct 4B and C, 5B, C, and D, and all of 6. I'll be there for everybody. My phone is accessible. My number, it's a very easy number to get in touch with me. My campaign number is 508-588-VOTE. That's it, 508-588-VOTE. My website, johncruzforrep.com. I'm always available. You'll see me driving around. I'm working. I'm a plumber. I'm in my red truck all the time. You know, it's funny. I went to an event last week, the Campello Businessmen's Association. We had a luncheon, and Tim was there and Mary was there, and they didn't recognize me. I know you find that hard to believe. They didn't recognize me. I was out of my uniform. I didn't have my consolidated plumbing blues on. But I mean, that's what I am. You know, I'm a hard worker, plumbing business owner, and I'm a plumber. I want to go up to Beacon Hill and fix what's broken. So with that, I want to thank everybody again for showing up.